Now once you have declared array in your program and the compiler has created the memory for declared array, you can access the memory allocated to the array, and you can also store the values that are required in the program by using the array variable name and the index associated with each memory cell that the compiler has given during the creation of memory for the array variable. You can store more than one value by using a single variable name, and by using the index of the memory cell. Suppose you want to perform assignment expression, then you can refer this memory cell by writing, as I have taught you, that this entire memory area is referred by a single name. That name is num, but you have to store a value for the first time in this memory area, and the first value should be stored in this memory cell, and the index of this memory cell is 0. Hence you have to write the identity of this memory cell as num within the big braces open and close. You have to write 0, the index of the memory cell, and then you can perform initialization operation by using initialization operator, assignment operator, and then you have to specify your value that you want to store in this memory area. This statement is read as num at 0 is equal to 10. Similarly, if you want to store another value in this memory cell, then you can write an assignment expression. You can also perform input. I will teach you how you will perform input in the memory allocated for the array. And if you want to perform initialization operation in this memory area, then you can refer this memory area by writing like num within the big braces open and close, or within the subscript you have to specify the index of this memory cell, and the index of this memory cell is 1, and within the big braces open and close I have written 1, and then after using assignment operator you can specify your value that you want to store in this memory area. Similarly, if you want to store any value in all these memory cells, you can perform the assignment expression like specified here. And suppose you want to perform assignment operation to store a value in this memory cell, then you have to write assignment of expression like num at 9 is equal to any value that you want to store in this memory cell. You can write your value after using assignment expression. Suppose I am going to store the value 100 in this memory cell. I have written the value 100 here. You have to specify the index with the array variable name so that you can store a value within the array memory. Now once you have stored value in the array memory, then you can also use the value already stored in the array memory either in calculation statement or in output statement or in any other statement wherever you require to access the value already stored in the array memory. Now suppose you want to output the value stored in the array memory, and first of all you want to output the first value stored in the array memory. As you know that to output in C we use printf function. Then you have to write printf statement within the parenthesis. As I have declared an integer array, and to display integer value you have to use conversion string %d here in printf function, and for this for this conversion string or format specifier you want to display the integer value stored in array variable. Then you have to write the name of the array variable, and within the big brace open and close you have to specify the index whose value you want to display by using printf function. I have to display the first value stored in array memory, and the first index associated with the array is 0. Then I have to write here within the big brace open and close within the subscript operator the index 0. By using this syntax you can display the value stored in the array memory. Similarly, if you want to input any value in the array memory, then as you know in C we use a scanf function to input any value in a memory, and with a scanf function we have to use the conversion string to input integer value. By using a scanf function we have to use %i conversion string. You can also use %d to input a decimal integer value, and then after putting comma operator we have to specify the address of the memory in which we want to store the value. Hence we have to use the address operator here, and then we have to write the name of the variable. The name of the variable here is num, and the variable is an array variable. Hence we have to use the subscript operator with this variable name, and within the subscript operator you have to use the index of the memory in which you want to perform input by using a scanf function. And here we want to input the first value in array memory, then the first index available with the array variable is 0. Hence I am going to write here the index 0. Similarly, you can input any value in any memory cell created for the array. Suppose you want to input an integer value in the 9th index of the array variable. Hence you have to write the scanf function like scanf to input integer value, we have to use conversion string %i, and then after putting comma operator, we have to specify the address, and to specify the address we have to use address operator. Then we have to specify the name of the memory. The entire memory created for the array variable is referred by a single name. The name here is num, and we want to store by input a value in the 9th index of the array variable. Hence we have to specify the index here as 9. By using this syntax, you can access any memory cell created for the array variable. Now, array is of different types. As you have seen that I have written a syntax how to declare the array variable, and within the syntax I have used subscript operator open and close for many times. I have taught you in this video lecture how to declare array variables, and in the syntax of the array variable I have used this subscript operator for many times. As you can see here, first time the subscript operator has been opened here, and within the subscript operator I have written size1. Next time I have used subscript operator open and close here, and I have put here ... You can specify here the size of second dimension, and so on. You can specify the size of nth dimension of the array. Hence we can say that array is of different types. Generally, array is classified into 3 types. Classification of array variables. Classification of array variable. Array variable is of 3 types. First type is one-dimensional array. One-dimensional array. Second is two-dimensional array. Two-dimensional array. And third is multi-dimensional array. Multi-dimensional dimensional array. Anyone can say that array is of 3 types: single dimensional array, double dimensional array, and multi-dimensional array. The dimension of the array is specified by the subscript operator. The number of subscript operator present in the declaration of the array variable decides the dimension of the array. If you are going to use this subscript operator for a single time, then it is said that you are going to declare one-dimensional or single dimensional array variable. And if you are going to use this subscript operator in the declaration statement of array variable for 2 times, then it is said that the array variable is of 2 dimension or the array is of double dimension. And if you are going to use this subscript operator with the array variable name in the declaration statement of array variable for more than 2 times, it may be for 3 times, for 4 times and so on, then it is said that the array variable is of multi-dimension. You can say this type of array variable as 3-dimensional array variable. If you are going to use the subscript operator for 4 times in the declaration statement of array variable, then you can say that the array variable is of 4 dimension, but all such array variables are said that the array variable is a multi-dimensional array. Two-dimensional or double-dimensional array variable is used to represent a matrix. As during the study of mathematics subject, you may have noticed that the matrix element are represented in 2 dimension. You have performed calculation using the matrix. As you can see that the set of elements has been represented in 2 dimension. This dimension is called row and this dimension is called column. Hence, when you have to perform any operation on matrices, then you have to declare 2-dimensional or double-dimensional array variable in your program. But you have to remember that compiler allocates index for the memory cell created for the array variable, and the index in each dimension starts with 0 and ends at the given size minus 1. Suppose you are going to declare an array variable of 2 dimension like this. Suppose to develop any program, you have to declare 2-dimensional array variable of integer type. Then you have to declare the array variable like this, and when the compiler will create the memory for such declared array variable, then it will create a memory divided into 2 dimension like this. And the compiler will assign an index for each memory cell. For the first dimension, it will assign an index value starting with 0 and ending at the specified size. Here is 3 minus 1, specified size minus 1, and the index for this dimension ends at 2. Hence, this memory cell will have an index for the first dimension 0. This memory cell will be assigned an index for the first dimension 1, and this memory cell will be assigned an index for the first dimension 2. Similarly, for this dimension, it will also, compiler will also assign an index value, and the index starts with 0 and ends at the specified size minus 1, and the specified size is here 3. Then the index will end at 2. Hence, the memory cell will have an index for the second dimension 0, and this memory cell will have the index for the second dimension 1, and this memory cell will have the index value 2. The entire memory area will be referred by a single name. The name here is as you have given the variable name as num. Hence, entire memory area will be referred by a single name num. But when you have to access this memory area, then you have to specify the index of the memory cell allocated by the compiler, and as you can see here, the array is declared with two subscript operator. Then whenever you have to access the memory area, then you have to use two subscript with the array variable name. Hence, suppose we have to access this memory area either to store any value or to use already stored value, then we have to write the identity of this memory area as num. Within the first subscript operator, you have to specify the index 0, and in the next subscript operator you have to put 0. Hence, by writing the identity of the memory cell like this, you are accessing this memory cell so that you can initialize any value, or you can input any value, or you can use any value stored in this memory area. Similarly, when you have to access this memory area, then you have to write the identity of this memory area like num. The index of this memory cell in first dimension is 2, and the index of this memory cell in second dimension is also 2. Hence, to access this memory cell created for the array variable, you have to write the identity of the memory cell in your program like this.